Do you ever find yourself being so excited to chase those random, intensely burning desires that you get at 2 a.m.? The ones that keep you awake, maybe writing frantic, excited notes or just making idealistic, eager plans in your head. And it keeps you going and it keeps you awake for a few more hours still. And then you wake up the next morning reading or remembering what your more ambitious self had planned. And instead of being excited, you end up feeling overwhelmed. I go through this all the time. And for a while, I thought it was a struggle unique to myself. But I've since learned that it's not. And I want to reassure others that you aren't alone in this feeling. And if this cycle is something that you are kind of trapped in, I want you to know that it's not your fault. And it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to dream. It's okay to hope and plan and to want more for yourself. That's part of life and part of growing. In fact, I think we learn a lot about ourselves by asking what it is we want. To me, it's really funny how different 3 a.m. me is from 10 a.m. me. And I think when I started to make that distinction between those versions of myself, that's when I started to give myself a bit more grace and understanding. So 3 a.m. you has already gone through the whole day. You have faced various tests of patience, unsavory interactions, stressful deadlines, moments of happiness and frustration. You have, in a day, usually felt a wide breadth of emotions, and that's exhausting. All those interactions, no matter how fleeting, they do build up until we can't carry it anymore and it's time for us to rest. And if it's a particularly rough day, it leaves you almost dreading the next one. And as you lay in bed after a little too long scrolling, you have a brief moment of realization that you must face it again. And I think, at least in my case, when I was faced with the monotony, that perceived meaningless of those unfavorable interactions, it can leave us wanting something new. But then after that, we go through that same cycle of planning and dreaming. And then we wake up for the new day. Those dreams and ambitions are just a fond memory now being overshadowed by the looming responsibilities that are just a few hours away. Work, school, maybe you're a caretaker for a family member, whatever it is, it casts a large shadow. It's like those rays of light are hope, and the shadow we find ourselves in is cast by that stress. Throughout the day, we're just trying to get out from that shadow, just to glimpse that light again. So it makes sense why we feel kind of stuck in that cycle of dreaming and hoping and not acting on it. But I think just being aware of that cycle helped me break free of it more often. It also helped me realize that the cycle isn't inherently bad and that stress, to a certain degree, can be a beneficial thing. Because I think stress welcomes hope and hope welcomes change. I think if we just hope aimlessly, that can cause some issues, sure. But if we take a small step, no matter how small that step, even just one step closer to what we hope for, that is one step closer to change. That is one step closer to learning more about yourself. It's that next step on that path of growth. It's that path of self-love and acceptance. And there will be days where you can't always take a step. But the great thing is you can't go backwards. You can't erase all the progress and greatness that makes you who you are. So please, continue to dream at 2 a.m. Continue to hope. Because when you do hope and when you do dream, that's what gives us the energy to take that next step. So what is your next step going to be? But also, for sure get enough sleep, because we can't just be staying up thinking all the time. You gotta get your 8 hours. You gotta take a little nap, or I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor.